Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the DDA Board meeting, Monday, January 12th. And I'd like to call the meeting to order, 6 p.m. Start out with Happy New Year to everyone. Welcome to 2026. Here we are. Hopefully it's going to be an exciting and fun-filled year. So get started with, if you could join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Hillary, roll call.
Wingelmeyer.
Here.
Elliott.
Here.
Raska.
Here.
Stauffer.
Both excused. Kari and Linda are both out of the area for this evening. So can I get a motion for that?
Motion to approve their absence.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Next up is the agenda approval. Anyone have any additions, corrections, or questions on the agenda? If not, I need an approval.
Motion to approve agenda as presented.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Moving on. Approval of the minutes from the meeting of December 2025. Seems so long ago.
Yes, it does. Motion to approve the minutes as presented.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. Financial report. You have it on your agenda, the financial report, December 1st. Beginning balance was $839,710, and December 31st ending balance was $733,607. Questions on the financial report that was presented?
I have a question on contractual, page 3 of 5. The website services for 348, is that, I've never seen that, so I didn't know if that was normal, if it was new, or are we paying somebody for that? What?
I'm not familiar with it either. Tim, do you know anything of that, or is that at least a question?
That is, but I can see, as we're talking, I was trying to pull it up, see if I can get more information, at least see who the vendor is, to give you more information here.
Okay. Any other financial report questions at this time?
I had another one, I need to find it though. All right, hold on. Sorry. It was a charge for Plant Moran for, no, it was a I was just curious on the, these expenditures for the auditing services, I mean, wouldn't that come to the board for approval for paying it? I'm just asking because our, normally an expenditure of that amount would require a roll call vote, so I just don't understand why we're not seeing an invoice or anything along the lines of that.
Tim, is that anything you can explain?
Well, I'll talk to, you should be provided an invoice. I'll talk to Lisa and get more information on it. If it's a budgeted item and it's a established contractor, that could be the reason. But I can get more information on it.
Okay, if we could get some clarity on that, that would be great for the future.
For the first item, I'm trying to find it, you said it was on page 3 of 5?
It's on, yeah, on the, general on the revenue and expenditure report. And it is under contractual 818.000, 12.9, DDA website services.
Oh, okay.
I thought we were paying our interim director for our updates on our website, so I didn't know if that was somebody that was, I didn't know what that was. You know,
I'm not familiar that we're paying anybody for website services.
Is that for the website itself?
yeah, I don't know.
That's why, we don't have an invoice.
That's why I'm asking, if there's no invoice there.
Oh, anyways.
So, yeah, if we could get clarity on that moving forward, that'd be great, whether
Trying
it's,
to look forward to that one
Yeah.
right now, just, that one I can actually pull up and try to figure out, at least I can tell you who the vendor is.
And then the other one is the 1649 for Plant Moran, account 803. We have budgeted expenditures that we have to do a roll call vote on regardless, so I don't understand that one.
okay, any other questions on financials? Tim, you'll get back to us on that?
Yeah, I'll try to get.
All right.
the final results.
Perfect. All right. We need an approval for the financial report, or we just move on? Move on. Next on the agenda is public comment. This is for items that are on the agenda. Do we have any public comments for items on the agenda? Not seeing any. We'll move on. New business. New business, we have scope of work listed here for the interim DDA director with the hope of bringing on a new DDA director. We're in discussion with Jennifer to do some onboarding because she's very familiar with the DDA practices in Main Street, Oakland County, and someone has to onboard the new DDA director. So we would like to put that forward as an option for Jennifer to come back and do some interim DDA director onboarding, if you would. And so, wanted to throw that out there for discussion, if there's any comment.
Is she willing to?
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely.
Is
No.
it budgeted for?
Well, we would take that out of our payroll budget, I would imagine. That would be my guess, although she's not on payroll per se, she's a contract. So, somewhere along the line, we have to budget it somehow, so I don't know whether that's gonna be an amendment or what we have to do. But clearly, we need someone with expertise to onboard the new person. That's not me.
Do we have an idea of like a time, like how many hours, or, because we know her hourly rate, are we just looking for like, would it be like a day, 2 days?
I don't know that.
60?
I didn't really have any further discussion on, as far as time frame, on what that would be, but I imagine it'd certainly be more than a day. There's plenty of things that would need to be gone over with. My guess would be at least a week or two, is what I'm guessing. Any comments? No?
Well, that sounds really reasonable to me, like a week or two with
Yeah.
someone done.
I'm just, that was just a Jerome comment, so.
Is this an action item or just something for us to think about?
Well, we're gonna need some sort of approval on it to move forward with that in an effort to keep the ball rolling if in fact we're bringing on a DDA director, which we hope to do.
Can we put parameters on it
Of course you can,
and then just approve it?
of course you can.
Yeah. Like under so many hours or up to so many hours? I would absolutely.
Is
approve it.
Oakland County Main Street gonna be helping with some of
Yes.
this training as well?
Absolutely,
And is that of no cost to the,
to my knowledge,
okay.
yeah, to my knowledge.
So would 60 hours be enough, or do
think
we
that's-
wanna go?
Pretty excessive.
I think 60 would be plenty.
Okay. So not to exceed 60 hours of onboarding? Is that what you're proposing?
What do you guys think?
I think that's a lot. That's like,
Yeah.
2 months of work.
60
Will
hours?
she do a time card this time? Because we had a lot of complaints about her being absent from the building when she was working for the DDA last time. So is 60 hours gonna be 16 hours shown and 60 just was the hope? That's my concern.
I understand.
What about Oakland County? You said Oakland County?
Oakland County will assist, yes, absolutely.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah, they will assist. They're not gonna be on property. That's the only problem. They're always available. I think
Okay.
someone needs to be here to show them the computer and show them all the stuff
Sure.
and show the direction on what things are and where things are and all that, so.
I do agree, April, with you, though. If it's onboarding, she needs to be here in the building.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
If it's, I know the executive committee met, and I'm sure they found qualified people that wouldn't need 2 months. I'm with Tarina on that one. I think 60
Well,
hours is excessive.
I think it's 30 hours is a week, right?
Oh,
I thought you
sorry,
said
for some reason I went 60 days in my head.
No, not 60 days,
60,
30
it'll
hours.
be a week and a half.
It's 30 hours. It's less than 2 weeks.
Yeah,
Although I think that 40 hours might be a better number, just because that's a one full week or 2 half weeks, or, 2 part-time weeks, I would think, in my opinion.
Yeah, I was gonna suggest that the 60 be a max.
yeah,
Right.
I
And
would
then
say,
leave some flexibility. From my experience, some of that onboarding wears thin as the new person wants to get running
Right.
and what have you, so. But, again, it may require some additional time, but I'd be comfortable with that.
And can we see parameters for how those hours would be spread out? Because she might take 2 months to do 40 hours if she shows up like she did last time.
well, I would think,
We need to set the parameters
A
of the
week.
first 2 weeks.
Right,
yeah, I would say
exactly.
within the first 2 weeks, I mean. 'cause
It would be the first 2 weeks of
40
employment.
to-
I mean, you're not gonna onboard
I
for
mean,
6
I would-
months.
I guess, would her availability allow
I
consecutive?
don't know any of that. We have to,
Okay.
Yeah,
Make it
40
an
to
option.
60 hours in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think that sounds reasonable.
so 60 hours in 2 weeks.
No more than.
yeah,
Not to exceed.
yeah, so.
Not to
yeah.
exceed 60 hours in 2
But
weeks.
but also a not less than, like not less than 40.
Right,
Yeah,
yeah.
I would say 40, a minimum of 40, not to exceed 60.
Is that what you're proposing?
I would like to make a motion to, contract services with Jennifer to onboard our DDA, our new DDA director, for a minimum of 40 hours, not to exceed 60 hours.
Pay rate, please.
I
Her-
believe it was 45 an hour
I think so.
before.
Yeah, I don't have it memorized, but whatever.
$45 an hour. Unless she wants to give us a discount, then.
I'll second that motion.
Okay. Roll call?
Brandon,
Yes.
Greenway,
Yes.
Herrick,
Yes.
Braska.
Yes.
Allgaier, yes. Elliott,
Yes.
Wingelmeyer.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Thank you. Old business, update on the DDA director. I gave everyone a packet in front of them. Unfortunately, this was not done prior to the board packets being made, so I brought it tonight. But the executive committee filtered the resumes, we did phone interviews for top candidates and narrowed down. I'm very pleased to say that we had some great viable candidates. Very pleased with that. And then we did in-person interviews this past week and narrowed it down to our selection. I have their resume in front of you, along with overview that we prepared for you all to see the bullet points and things that this candidate meets in regards to our job description and our post and requirements that we've talked about in the past. So happy to see that this candidate comes forward with previous DDA experience, and I think the onboarding process could be fairly minimal for that reason, because they've already worked the DDA work schedule before. We made it very clear in our interview process that this was an on-site position, that we wanted 40 hours in we refer to it as boots on the ground in Holly, whether that be literally in the office or out at businesses or at events around town or whatever, but definitely 40 hours in the community, because that was a huge concern in the past, to make sure that our DDA director is visible. Definitely an advocate of historic preservation, which I thought was a nice plus for this position, and experience in some, economic development, as that's obviously a big part of the DDA role as well. So we were very pleased with this candidate, and we would like to recommend Kevin Stevenson as our next DDA director. Any questions?
I would have asked you about this ahead of time, but as you mentioned, we only just now got to look at this application.
Sure.
The Clarkston News released an article today that said that Kevin Stephenson has decided to call it quits as both the chairman of the Oxford Downtown DDA and an elected member of the Oxford Village Council. If this article is accurate, the reasons he cited were personal, not political, that he loved working there, but he said it was personal necessities. I need personal time to figure out what I need. So I'm a little curious about that. Did he mention he was going to be quitting these, and why? Does he not have enough time to do the 40 hours a week?
No, he absolutely does. No. There was some other tensions in the community there that he was dealing with, that he has felt that he had did his stay and it was time to step aside.
He's currently, that he was currently on something, because I thought it says here that it was 2006 to 2012. That he was.
Do you have a date on that article?
This one says that, so the article dropped today, and it said that his last day will be his last DDA meeting will be April 16th, and his last village council meeting will be either the second or fourth Tuesday in April. So maybe he was on council or something more than once in his life.
I'm just curious why he
Possibly.
would have listed that on his resume, that he was currently working, so that.
Oh, that's
it seems
not on-
more- it would seem more, because I would be concerned, you haven't been on a DDA since 2012, and it's not just a volunteer type position like,
Oh, I
us.
see.
I'm just curious as to why.
I think that article may have been 2012, was it
Was it,
current?
okay.
This article says, oh, I'm sorry, you're right. So
Okay.
it had two different dates on it. Up on top, it said Monday, January 12th, 2026. And then when I scroll down, it does say March 28th, 2012. So he did tell you why he resigned from that. And was that mentioned in here?
No, but we questioned it.
But he told you about it?
He
Okay.
did, yeah.
Well, that's good. Now, that personal time isn't an issue today.
I know a little bit more about it, but I don't know if I'm at liberty to
Sure.
discuss it. It's personal. He had family opportunities going on that he needed to deal with.
And obviously not on public.
Correct.
Yeah.
Public, I would want to
So,
have an
but
idea.
no, he's definitely ready to get started. In fact, we asked him if he were to move forward, when he could start, and he said he was ready to start next week. But we were hopeful for a February 1 start, if possible.
What is he currently doing for work?
Currently, he has a consulting thing that he was doing on the side, but nothing structured because he was dealing with his personal stuff. But he's now in a position where he can regain employment.
For 13 years?
What kind of consulting is he doing, do you know?
He was doing business consulting.
I think it's on the second page.
The Northern Financial Advisors, is that his company?
Thank you. And I see that he has, I just have a little question for clarification. I see he has a master's degree, and that was in medieval and early modern history, and a bachelor's of arts in history with a minor in psychology. Over on the page under number 4, for education, it says master's level training with emphasis in research on historic preservation. Oh, so is he just talking about his master's degree there? Okay. I don't know that that's historic preservation, the particular master's degree that he has. So what I'm looking for is, does he have some other training that wasn't addressed in his master's degree? What's this master's level training with historic preservation? Where did that come from?
I can't answer that. I don't know. Did you have any conversation on that?
I
for someone with like some kind of marketing or financial, like business. It doesn't matter when we come down to it. Did you ask him why, if he's bringing in $4.3 million in annual revenue? Oh, I guess for everybody, you want to work for us?
Well, actually, I mean, it says it ended, but I would think that he could probably do this on the side. Like as a financial advisor.
I gotcha.
He's not, this is gonna
He's
be
not.
his full-time job.
Okay.
So I see what's throwing me here. So this is the overview that was written by the executive committee? Is that who wrote this?
Linda prepared it.
Okay.
I mean, I was just looking, possibly his, master level training on the research and historic preservation might be in this, business operations manager, 1992 to 2014, directed multi-site business operations for 106-year-old Pontiac Community Institution, maybe? Kind of seem relevant there.
So financial advisor, chief operating officer. He's got higher education in the arts. And he was on a council and a DDA as a board member.
And he managed budgets, and he wrote grants, and managed the grants, and did all the reporting on the grants.
Oh, that's awesome.
And so,
How many grants did he do? I mean, did he list any that were like, how many were successful?
we had verbal conversation, there was several.
Okay.
Many that he did for some pretty substantial amounts. Our questions were directed at, you wrote the grant, but then once you got them, did you manage them? And did he manage the grants as well?
Who was the DDA director at Oxford at that time? Did he say?
He did, it was a lady, when he first,
That might have been in the phone interview.
yeah, I can't remember. I don't remember the name of the director, but I think it was a lady that he said was there. So, they had gone through some transition in Oxford.
No, I know Oxford has, I just didn't know if it's somebody who's gone off to another city, like Molly left Lake Orion.
Oh, yeah, no, I don't know that. I didn't ask. But he worked closely with the city council there and developed policies and procedures and that type of thing to better the community, so.
Does he have good strengths in marketing and social media?
He seemed to.
Does he have a social media?
And he had a very articulate way about his conversation, which was nice. You know, he was very professional. I think he brings a nice image to the position. Don't you agree?
Did you invite him to come this evening? Was he unable to?
Did not invite him to come.
Joe Frost was the DDA director in Oxford at that time.
Who?
Joe Frost,
Joe? I could have sworn it was a woman.
and I think now works for NEDC,
He works for who?
Michigan Economic Development Corporation.
Oh, okay. I remember Joe Frost, that's right.
He's the village president for Oxford as well. Worked for Oakland County, associate planner.
Do you have on you the criteria
I didn't bring that.
I just have it in my email.
Okay.
I don't think I have it. I can look.
And Dave had helped us with the questioning,
Did you
the
say
format. Dave
Oh, okay.
had helped us with the format on the questioning and things that we adhered to, so, which worked well.
If he meets that criteria, I'll be satisfied. Do you think you're gonna be able to find it?
I'm not able.
Okay, thank you for looking.
I think that was what they based that comparison, on, that was the actual.
Right. I just didn't bring it.
Jerome, what do you feel like is his biggest strength of the position?
I think his biggest strength is that he worked in Oxford, and the community had a lot of the same activities that Holly has, and I think he brings that experience of dealing with our GDA situation to Holly. So, was really intrigued by that. He pretty much already knew some of the things that we were doing.
Revamped a couple of things, but then I did do that.
What made him wanna get back into,
He loves it. And he loves the fact that we have a very historical downtown and that type of thing. And we talked about economic development. He talked about
Oh, Hillary, this is it. We've got the, sorry.
so he
Qualifications.
talked about the importance of, you know, celebrating that and keeping it authentic as we were to develop as a community. And that he values that very much so. And he's looking forward to get back into working with what he loves to do. So,
So the bachelor's degree and the options were urban planning, marketing, public admin, business admin, historic preservation or similar degree. So that's satisfied. Government budgeting, record keeping, public relations, leadership, DDA, village council or staff, being an implementer to projects, communication, self-start, coordinate stuff. I'm satisfied.
I also will say that not all of the candidates, but a few of them, and as one of them, sent a very nice follow-up letter after the interview. And again, highlighted some of the reasons that he really was hopeful for the position and targeted some of the bullet points that we put here as what we were, he doesn't know about this document, but what he put in the email aligned with what we had written. So I think we're all on the same page is what I'm saying, which is nice. And the fact that he has worked closely in a DDA, so I don't think his onboarding is going to be nearly as strenuous as it could be if you
And
hire
he's a
someone.
Golden Grizzly, so.
Right. There you go. So. It was a big process. We worked on it throughout the entire holiday season, scheduling phone interviews and Zoom calls and all that type of thing. So there was a lot of time and effort put into this to make sure that we were making the right decision.
And thank you for all that time, especially during the holidays.
yes,
We appreciate that.
this is exciting.
You're welcome.
I'm
We're-
excited you found somebody
I'm
who is
pleased.
great and has really good experience.
So, at tonight's meeting, what I'd like to do, from what I understand, Tim, correct me if I'm wrong, but tonight, I would like to get an approval on drafting a contract for this individual, and we need to decide at what pay rate that needs to start at. And then once we approve that, we can get that contract written, and then that contract will get forwarded over to Tim, and then Tim will deal with council in getting that moved forward for approval with the hopes of, Tim's hopeful that he can possibly call a special meeting, and that we could extend employment to this individual to start as early as February 1st. So,
One last question. It's my understanding there was around 30-ish applicants.
I don't know the exact number, but there was quite a few, yes. as if you do any hiring, you understand a lot of them were not even
I saw
qualified.
the whole roster last time. I think last time we had 24, and out of the 24, 4 were at least somewhat qualified.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. We brought, was it 5?
We had 6.
We had
but one
6,
canceled
we had
on the
6
day
for
of.
in-person interviews because we felt they were needing to go to the next level. Because sometimes you can't really judge somebody over a Zoom call. And so I felt that was a really high number to bring forward. In fact, we initially thought we would want to bring 4 forward, but because of their qualifications and things, we brought 6 forward. And so that's why we did that. We put in the extra energy and stayed until, from 11 in the morning until after 6 at night, doing interviews all day. And as she said, one of them canceled day of for personal reasons, I guess. And then this is where we shook out.
Okay.
We were very pleased with the applicants. There was a lot of good qualities there. They all had great qualities. We felt this one was the most well-rounded that fit our needs.
So well-rounded, that was my
Yes.
question is, what made you decide
Yeah.
this person was the most qualified?
Well-rounded.
Out of the 30 and then out of the 6? Well-rounded. Okay, so,
I like the fact that he was involved in council as well, so he understands the other aspect of things, and worked very closely with the municipality on a regular basis. So I think that's important. And loved it. He talked about how much he loved his job. So. Dave, anything?
No, just trying to think the timeline. So we do have to decide on wages and draw up a contract.
The contract will be relatively simple. We can get that turned around real quick.
Okay.
Because
so-
we already have an approved contract that we've done before.
Right.
So we're just gonna have to change some of the numbers and the names and the things and then send that back.
Will that require a special meeting or can
No.
we? Okay,
We're gonna use the one we already approved.
gotcha.
And so we would just be doing name, salary, and then everything else would stay the same, what we've already approved.
What's your recommendation on salary?
My recommendation, we posted the job at 60 to 80, and my recommendation is to offer him 75,000
what about benefits,
plus the benefits.
plus the benefits?
That's a lot to start off with not knowing how it's gonna work. Could we, I would like to see like maybe 70 with, annual raises? Or even like a large raise? Can we do that, like where you get a larger raise like at the end of 1 year? And then the normal raises throughout the rest? Can you do like a?
You could.
almost like a
Now we're
block?
rewriting the contract.
Don't we have a probationary period too, if I remember?
There
right,
is.
guys?
It's an at-will position anyway, so if we hire someone and they don't work out, they can go.
Oh, right. But I just,
So my flip side concern on that, having been on the interview process and taking into consideration the candidate's mentality, who might be watching this evening, is the fact that this candidate checks all the boxes that we were looking for. You don't often find that. They check all the boxes we were looking for. And so I don't want to give a candidate the wrong message saying, we posted a job for 60 to 80, but now, even though you checked all the boxes, we're not gonna give you towards the higher end of that. And just to point of reference, in talking to Oakland County, our rate of pay is still one of the lowest in the county. So we gotta keep that in mind too. I mean, we're not a high-paying position here. I know for some of us entrepreneurs, this sounds like a lot of money, and it is a lot of money, but I think with the qualities that they bring forward, I think they can hit the ground running.
if you think that, then
I do feel that way,
Yeah.
I really do.
we're already getting questioned on every single dollar that we spend.
I
on
understand.
anything.
I understand.
So I just wanted to.
And I'm
make sure
hoping
that
with
we-
this expertise, we can help some of that. That's just my take on it.
I'd support that, again, just primarily based on the amount of applicable experience that he brings. I mean, again, it appears the shoe fits.
I agree. 75.
Someone want to put that into a motion?
Why are you looking at me? Look at Dave, he's the HR person.
I was actually looking at Holly.
Oh, okay.
At Holly. but, You know,
Yes.
anybody can.
I'm happy to make the motion that we approve Kevin Stevenson as our new DDA director with a base salary of 75,000 plus benefits, as well as our already voted on contract.
Second.
Any further discussion? Trina?
No,
Okay.
I think so, go.
Roll call?
Winkelmeyer,
Yes.
Elliott,
Yes.
Allgaier, yes. Raska,
Yes.
Herrick,
Yes.
Greenway,
Yes.
Brandon,
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you. Next on the old business was a discussion about tech funds. We had brought that up at a previous meeting, and we haven't done anything about it yet, but we want to take a vote to, we have to vote, correct? Is that a vote? To say that we're going to apply for tech funds?
yeah.
Okay. So we'll need to have a motion. We'd like to apply for tech funds.
Don't we have to, what are we gonna use them for?
Well,
Thought that
we're,
was good to
we're
start.
going to apply for the tech funds to cover our legal expenses that have not been covered because of the funds not being reallocated in our budget by council. And these tech funds are absolutely designed to use for that type of purpose. So it's in line with Oakland County Main Street Program. So we can get this tech funds grant and then pay our legal funds.
Motion to apply for the tech funds.
Second.
Any discussion? Okay, roll call.
Greenway,
Yes.
Herrick,
Yes.
Brandon,
Yes.
Raska,
Yes.
Winkelmeyer,
Yes.
Elliott,
Yes.
Allgaier, yes.
Okay. Thank you. Motion carries. Next up, public comment. This is for anything that you want to talk about. Come to the microphone, state your name and address, and you have 3 minutes. Anyone from the audience? Okay. Hearing none, we'll move on. No public comments. We'll go into committee reports. Dave, Economic Vitality?
Hey, thanks. I did not have any formal meeting during the month of December. I was actually out of state pretty much the entire month, dealing with some family issues. But just a couple of things I did want to note. Just prior to leaving on December 2nd, I was invited to a meeting with the Holly First Group. I've mentioned them several times here, and just as a reminder, this is a local group that's very interested in Holly's economic development. We had just had kind of an informal get-to-know-each-other kind of meeting, but I think it went very well, and it really kind of at least clarified in my mind that their goals are very consistent with what we're doing in terms of economic vitality. And we just kind of left it at this stage that we're going to continue meeting and just look for opportunities to cooperate and collaborate and try to move things forward. So I think we can be a great resource to them and vice versa. So I was very encouraged by that meeting. Second thing I wanted to bring up was just a meeting we held this morning, and Tim, jump in wherever you'd like. But Tim and I met with the family from Coleman and Sons Garage. Many of you know that the owner there, Ed, recently passed away after some 50-some years of business there. The family met on a real proactive basis, and I commend them for that, to try to determine where the legalities are, what their options are with actually 2 properties there, the garage itself and the one across the street. Tim did a great job of explaining some of the intricacies of that. They have been operating in the central business district with, I guess, a bit of a exemption or waiver associated with under legal non-conforming use status. So that has some implications going forward. But essentially, we were there just to offer up support from DDA going forward, support from the village as they try to determine eventual disposition for what they want to do with those properties. So,
Perfect.
good meeting.
Great. Design committee, that would be me. We did not meet either. A couple things as a recap. The design committee was overseeing also working with the Crannies Company in regards to the arches that are part of the grant requirements that were to be done by the end of the year. We're currently in discussion with Oakland County to see about the extension of that, just because we ran late in the year, and obviously there's some elements and things coming into play right now. But the company is ready, and they have reached out to the office. I confirmed with Tim today, reached out to the office to pull a permit. I understand in conversation with Tim that the fees of the permit will be waived, but it's standard procedure to pull a permit. They're calling Miss Dig, and they're gonna probably be out in the next week or two doing some sidewalk markings and things for placement and that type of thing for the arches. And as soon as weather's permitting, those will go up. So that's a plus. Took the opportunity to, although we didn't have a meeting, I personally reached out because now's the time. I wanted to get a couple other quotes for our holiday lighting, because the company we've been using, we've had for several years, and it's much easier to get a quote when it's up. So since the lights are still up, I've called a few companies and said, hey, come do a drive-through. Give me some ideas. And so I haven't given up on the north end yet, although I think we're gonna get a long-ass extension cord and run it from the fire station all the way to the north end to plug in lights. Because I really want lights on the north end of the alley. But at the moment, power's an issue, but hopefully we can get across that bridge this year. But I wanted to get some quotes because obviously we'll be going into the budgeting season soon, and I wanted to be prepared for that. So that's what I'm working on with that. And I'm hopeful that in this new year budgeting session, we'll also be looking at a new banner program to freshen up the banners along the roads. So that's where we're at. Promotions, that would be Kari, who is not with us tonight. But Trina, you were at the promotions meeting. You want to give a little recap?
Oh, yeah, we met, we discussed the Galentine's and the Valentine's event that we're gonna do. That is the Back to the Future of Love, where all the businesses are going to pick an 80s themed or 80s movie as their theme, offering different specials, and that was the most of it. Although our event cards are in, which you see all over there.
Event cards.
And,
They are available at several of the businesses in town. And if you are a business and you want to get a stack of them, the case of them is at Holly Antiques. We position them there because we have probably the longest hours. We're open 7 days a week. And so any business can stop in and pick up a stack to take back to their business. So,
This is handy dandy.
yeah.
And I think someone had just asked about it,
Yep.
so that was perfect.
Yeah.
Organization, Hillary?
Well, we're actually meeting next week, and, we're gonna be looking into the whole treasurer situation, as far as like, getting a quote from the village and different, for that. I think we didn't really meet last month either. Oh, we met early in the month, so, but yeah, I'm currently working on our volunteer handbook to move that forward, and looking forward to having a DDA director to move all
Yes.
things forward.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I think we all are. I will also state, so everyone can hear in Homeland, that all of our committees need additional committee members. So if there's anyone in the community that has any desire to serve on any of those 4 committees, economic vitality, design, promotions, or organization, we welcome you to come forward, reach out to the DDA, reach out to any of us as board members, get connected. We're always looking for new ideas, we're looking for new thoughts, and new energy for sure. So don't hesitate. It's a new year, and maybe this is your time to get a little bit more committed and more familiar with what goes on in the village. So we'd love to have you. So,
Do you have to live in the, you don't have to live in the village to be on the subcommittees, do you?
I don't believe so.
I don't think so.
No.
Okay.
I
No.
thought that absolutely anyone can help, 'cause
Yeah,
we
that's
definitely-
Anyone can help.
basically.
Anyone can help.
We don't care.
You do not have to live in the village. You can live in the township, you can live in that other town to the west with an F word. You can, you can live anywhere you want. So, Tim, your report?
Yeah, so just going back to that, the fee that you talked about for the website services, that was to a company called Membership Warehouse LLC, St. Charles, Missouri. It looks like the last time that was paid was in January of 2025, so it looks like it's some kind of annual membership for your website. But we can verify what that is, but that's looking back at like the historical data that I can pull without actually going to see the actual invoice. You know, obviously, since our last meeting, the depot's been moved. You know, great job by the depot move committee. We're actually going to be looking at, now that the building's been relocated, we're gonna start talking about, all right, that committee is gonna start getting disbanded, and we're gonna make a depot use and renovation committee that just focused on how, you know, how we move forward with use. They're gonna recommend to council, you know, all of these things. And so, we're talking like, you know, appropriate members for that. It's all gonna be like people that are focused on, have different skills that, you know, meet the criteria of like accomplishing the tasks that we wanna do, so we can like proactively move that forward. And then I look forward to working with Kevin. I'll request tomorrow that council schedule a special meeting as soon as possible. You know, based on calendar, we actually have another, we're gonna have to actually do a special meeting for our audit anyways, because our auditors aren't gonna be able to come to our February meeting, so we're gonna have to do a special meeting beforehand. Anyways, so it's gonna be probably convenient. We'll see what everyone's schedule is. I think that 90% of the tension that's been felt between the village and the DDA has been because of processes that the committees have had to lean into. And I think that once we have someone on board, that a lot of that's gonna melt away. And I just, you know, I'm committed to, as soon as they come in, you know, to bringing them, making sure they feel like they're part of the team, and, you know, empowering them to have all the tools to succeed, and just knowing that, like, we're completely behind them. We want the success of the DDA, and we want to make sure, you know, that they have our complete support. So I look forward to it. I'm, you know, as excited as you are. Maybe not as excited, but I'm pretty excited for it too. So.
Perfect. All right, board member comments. John,
All set, thank you.
Dave, Hillary,
I'm all set.
April?
I'm really excited to catch the council up tomorrow night as the DDA liaison and let them know that there was a unanimous vote for this, to enter into negotiations with this new DDA director. I'm very hopeful.
Yeah. Perfect, we are too.
Thank you.
Trina?
Thank you.
Yes, no, that, agreed. I'm super excited about having a DDA director. Never got to experience that before. So, I'm happy.
So,
Thank you for all the long hours and good work.
you're welcome. Linda led the charge on it. She's not here to take the praise, but I worked side by side with her on it. So we're kind of, you know, work spouses. And
I'm telling Pete.
Pete's well aware. Pete is well aware. And so, but it was a lot of work. And Hillary as well, and Dave assisted as well. Even though he was out of the area, he assisted by email and phone calls and things, working through to help us in the process. So, very connected committee, very diligent committee, and I'm grateful to have been able to serve with them and help. And like I said, it was a process, but I'm very, very pleased with our selection. And at the end of the day, there's always doubt, because it's like, oh, is it gonna work, is it not? But somehow, some way, at some point, you have to make a decision and say, okay, this is the one, and truly checked all the boxes. So, my biggest excitement is that all the things we were thinking is what he said without us prompting him. So he was kind of already saying how important it is that a DDA director is seen. He wants to go to business to business, and he wants to create opportunities so that other business owners get to know who he is, and blah, blah. So it's all the stuff that we've been saying, and we really need a person that's connected to the businesses. And in the interviews, both on the phone and in person, we shared with him our concern about North End, and we have a very long DDA, and because of that, there's very diverse needs that would be needed from the DDA, and has experience in that. That's the way his DDA was. So, at one end he had a big box store and a fast food store, and financial institutions that had absolutely no interest in having a late night Friday. So, he's very used to that, and so for that reason, I'm excited about it. I just think it's going to be a great fit.
That was a lot of green flags, and thank you all for putting up with the extra level of scrutiny. I know it's not easy. Thanks for your diligence.
No, it turned out good. So, what do you want to tell us, Holly?
I'm just excited.
You got
Thank
stuff? I know you got something. What's going on at your business? Anything fun?
No, but we're kicking off, I have to say, 2026, we're kicking off like really solid.
That's good.
It's been great,
Yeah,
so
Good.
that's encouraging.
all right. Remind everyone to shop local. Now's the time. We need your support. Small towns really need the support, whether you're shopping here in Holly or other small communities. Small businesses need the support, so. Thank you, everyone, for your time and your energy. I want you to understand that in no way, shape, or form am I taking Linda's spot, although I know you'll want me to, since we're ending this meeting at this time. And it is 6:52, meeting's adjourned.